Invoking blessings of the Almighty, elders, staff and students, participants from around the world, namaste and good evening. Welcome to day 83 of the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival here at Sathya Grama. This evening, we are honored to welcome our guest, who's a celebrated pioneering architect of India's IT revolution, Mr. Arjun Malhotra, co-founder of the HCL Group. Hearty welcome to you, sir.
Bole So Nihal, Sat Sri Akal. Special greetings to all our Punjabi friends on this auspicious occasion of Sri Guru Nanak Jayanti. Guru Nanak was a mystic poet and founder of Sikhism. His central message is reflected in his verse, Ik Onkar Satnam, Karta Purak, Nirbhav, Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni Se Bhang, Guru Prasad Jap, Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Bhi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach.
There is only one God who is the truth and the creator, who is without fear or hate, omnipresent, unborn, and self-illuminating, realized only by the Guru's grace and by meditating on his name. This is the eternal truth, says Guru Nanak.
The Guru Granth Sahib, where his teachings have compiled, has three main aspects. Vand Karo, to share and before one consumes. Kirat Karo, to work hard and to work with honesty. Naam Japo, to recite and meditate on the Lord's name, feeling his presence in our heart. We offer our salutations to this great master who preached equality, compassion, and service to all on his 556th birth anniversary.
This morning, Sadhguru flew to Tamil Nadu to attend the 60th birthday celebrations and offer his greetings to Srila Sri Masilamani Desiga Jnana Sambandha Paramacharya Swamigal of the Dharmapuram Adinam. Swamigal had earlier visited Muddenahalli and had expressed a desire to have a similar healthcare institution in Mayiladuthurai. During his discourse, Sadhguru announced the establishment of a 60-bedded hospital to commemorate the 60th birthday of the revered Swamigal, which will benefit the local community there. A free land was offered by the Adinam for this noble initiative, which will be a joint effort by both organizations to serve the needy. This is close to the Vaidishwaran temple, where Lord Shiva is worshipped as a divine healer.
We now move on to the segment where we recognize outstanding leaders. These are leaders who have transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary and have moved forward to achieve the impossible despite being weighed down by adversity and challenges. One such exemplary leader to whom we are honored to present the One World, One Family Global Leadership Award this evening is Mr. Arjun Malhotra.
Mr. Malhotra co-founded the HCL Group in 1975, leading it from a garage-operated venture by 6 people into one of India's largest and most respected IT corporations. A gold medalist from IIT Kharagpur and an alumnus of the Harvard Business School, he went on to establish and lead several successful ventures, including TechSpan and Headstrong, which became major players in the international IT and financial services sectors. Currently, Mr. Arjun is chairman of the advisory board of the health tech startup Altisys and chairs the investment committee of Solmark, among several other board roles. He co-founded Spic Mackey for the promotion of Indian classical music and culture amongst youth.
And beyond business, he has dedicated his time to education and entrepreneurship, serving on the boards of leading institutions such as the Indian School of Business, IIMs, IIT Kharagpur, and he has been a father figure of the entire tech startup community in India through the various initiatives that reflect his commitment to giving back to society. Mr. Malhotra is a recipient of several honors like the Albert Einstein Technology Medal, a Life Fellow and Honorary Doctorate from IIT Kharagpur, and the DQ Lifetime Achievement Award for his stellar contributions.
Exemplifying entrepreneurial excellence, visionary leadership, and committed mentorship, Mr. Malhotra is a global ambassador for India's IT leadership and ecosystem building. May we now request Mr. Arjun Malhotra to receive the One World, One Family Global Leadership Award from Sadhguru, followed by his acceptance speech.
Good afternoon. You know, I am not used to speaking to so many people. The IT industry used to be fairly small, and so pardon me if I'm nervous. I want to thank everyone, especially Sadhguru and the team that did the evaluation for choosing me for this very prestigious prize. I've got to say I am humbled and thrilled. I thought what I would share with all of you, especially a lot of the young children here, is sort of my story and say where and how I learned what I think is my lessons in life. I was born to a middle-class family. My father was in the army. My mother was a doctor, but a teaching medical doctor. She was in preventive and social medicine, family planning, those areas. I was born in Calcutta. I grew up there with my maternal grandparents. My maternal grandfather, who really is my motivation, my mentor, my hero in a way, was a well-known scientist. And he thought of the president of the Indian Science Congress in 1954. He would go around Victoria Memorial in Calcutta in the morning with his friends and talk science. And I would hold his little finger and walk along with them. And to keep me busy, he would give me mental math problems, 2 plus 3, 4 plus 5. And since he was holding my hand, I couldn't count on my fingers, so I had to do it in my head. And that's how I learned my mathematics. And the way I look at math is when I go in for a math exam, I assume I'm entitled to 100%. And if I don't get that, I've probably made some careless mistake that can be avoided. And I mentioned that because I wanted to share an incident that actually had a profound impact on me. In fact, when I was sent to kindergarten and the teacher would write the math problem and she would draw the 2 lines on the board to give the answer, I would give her the answer before people could even think of what she was doing. So I was thrown out of math class as a disruptive influence and sent to Bible knowledge, because that was at a convent in Calcutta. But I did my high school at the Doon School in Dehradun. And there we had a math teacher whose name was O.P. Malhotra. Some of you may have read books that he wrote for NCERT subsequently. But he used to give math tests and then go away, and people would cheat. And sometimes, you know, I had made a careless mistake, and someone who cheated got more marks than me. It used to really get me upset. So after we got to know him 2 or 3 months later, walking down in the corridor once with him, I asked him, I said, "Sir, when you give us these tests, you go away, aren't you worried people will cheat?" He looked at me and he said, "Who are they cheating?" And I've never forgotten that statement in my life. And that is a big lesson that I learned, that ultimately when you do that, you're cheating yourself. And so something I just wanted to share with everyone, that you should keep that in mind when you're trying to look for those kind of shortcuts. I then went to IIT Kharagpur. Okay, that's a story too, but I decided I wanted to do electronics. And Kharagpur was the only institute or the only IIT that had a separate degree in electronics. Everyone else had electrical engineering. Kharagpur had both. After I finished at Kharagpur, I was planning to go overseas like most IITians. Fortunately, I had my mother had sent me a cutting for a DCM management trainee job, and I ended up getting that and spending 5 years with them. I tried every year to go back to the US. I mean, I kept my admission open, but they decided a year after I joined them that they wanted to get into electronics. And I was probably, if not the only, if not one of the the only electronics engineer in the company. And so I was given responsibility of either doing production and R&D or sales and marketing 1 year out of college. And I thought to myself, where am I ever going to get an opportunity like this? And that's why I stayed on, worked with them for 4 years. India was a socialist country in those days. We had an act called the Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act that actually didn't allow large private companies to get into new areas. To differentiate ourselves in DCM, we had done research and had programmable calculators. We made things that were quote unquote non-standard that differentiated us and allowed us to cover our overhead. We then went into computers, but if some of you may have worked in large companies, those of you who finally go there, one thing happens in large companies is that the legal department's job is to tell you how you can't do things, not how you can do things. And so DCM was told not to get into computers, and 6 of us who worked there decided that microprocessors were just coming out. We believed that they were going to change the world, and that's how we started HCL. It started in my grandmother's barsati. I don't know if you know what a barsati is. It's the top half floor in houses in Delhi, and we had no business plan, no money, but we knew that we had technology that was different or better than what was being sold by the traditional companies in India at that time. And that's really how it started. I was with HCL for 23 years. I actually relocated to the US in 1989 to set up our international operations. You know it now as HCL Technologies. When I was turning 50, I thought I'd worked for long enough. I thought I'd retire. My motivation for starting the company was I wanted the economic freedom to do what I wanted to do. And at the age of 25, 26, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I thought at some stage I will discover what I want to do. And then I wanted the economic freedom to be able to do it. When I was getting close to 50, internet was coming out. And DCM, rightly so from their point of view, HCL, rightly so from their point of view, decided that they would look at which way the technology trend went, and then follow that, or invest heavily behind it. To me, that was not fun. The fun was riding that technology as it was emerging. And so I decided I had to take this decision that now I know what I want to do, I have the economic freedom, am I going to become a slave to what I had created? And I decided to leave, basically retire, and see what I wanted to do. Didn't last too long. In fact, I was thrown out of the house in 10 days because I was living in the US at that time. From 6 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, people were coming in. My wife had to make tea and coffee. After 10 days, she told me, and I'll paraphrase the words, she said, we've been married for 27 years. I married you for good or bad, but I didn't marry you for lunch. So please go and work from a business center. I'll pay for it. And I ended up starting a another company and we decided to look at it a little differently, said, where is the industry going to go in 10 years? And then set up a company that does that. So instead of doing labor arbitrage, which was really what, in a way, the IT services companies were doing till then, we decided to go domain specific. That I talk to the business person, understand the problem, and use technology, become, any technology that is the right technology to go in and solve that problem. And that's what we did at Headstrong. We focused on the capital markets, basically investment banking, and built a company around that, which we sold in 2011 to Genpact. I want to say this, when you look at, first of all, I've got to say thank you for the award, but the award is not me. The award is the team that has worked with me all the time in these multiple companies they are the ones that do all the work. I get all the credit because you see me as the head of that team, but really it's the work done by the team. So I've really got to say that this award really belongs to those teams that have worked with me. How do you get teams to perform? I think that's something I've learned over time. I've also learned that ultimately companies do well because their people are motivated. People are the most important part of any company, of anything that you do. Whether you play sports, you've got to motivate your team. You've got to make sure that you have clear communication, that the objectives are clear, and everyone has a common goal. Otherwise, you'll have this problem, and a lot of people have this problem. I do also sometimes, that people come to me and say they're working very hard, but they're not being recognized in their annual increment. But, they're working very hard, but they're not working very hard in the direction that you want them to work, towards the objectives or the goals that you want them to work. So it's very important to have that communication and make sure that everyone is focused behind the same arrow, so to say. I think some of the other lessons that I learned in my leadership was you got to do management by walking around. If you just sit in your room and expect everyone to come there to see you, you're going to miss out on a lot of important things. So if you want to check with someone, I would suggest get up from your room, walk to that person's cube, and sit down with them and say, hey, what do you think of this? Or I want you to help me solve this, or whatever the issue is. That tends to make people feel more important. It doesn't make them feel inferior, and it always gets them to do work and perform a lot better. I think the other thing that we miss in India is that we don't treat people with respect. I don't know why we do that, but we just assume that someone who's not dressed properly or doesn't speak English properly or whatever the reasons is not someone I can quote unquote look down upon, which I think is completely wrong. And a simple way of solving that, in my view, is by common courtesy of saying sorry and thank you. I don't know how many of you do it, but I would advise you that make it a habit to say sorry and thank you when the situation demands that. It helps. And I can give you an anecdote in my case. When I used to go selling to the IITs in the old days, the only place where you had cold water was in the director's office. So at lunchtime, in the middle of summer, you're walking around the campus, you want a glass of cold water. So you go up to the director's PA and ask him if you can have a cold water from the refrigerator. And he'll normally crib a little bit, but he'll give it to you because that's the way they are. At the end of the day, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, when everyone's going home, I would always make it a point to go up to the director's PA and say thank you for that glass of water. He remembers you because of that, or he remembered me, I should say, because of that. And whenever I needed the director, I needed 5 minutes or 15 minutes from the director to sign a requisition for an order for our computer, he would find a way to get me in between two meetings so that we could get that done. So just common courtesy tends to get you a lot of mileage that you may or may not think you'll be able to get. The other thing I would say, if you're a manager, please don't ask someone to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. Because the minute that person says no and you can't do it yourself, you lose a lot of face. But if someone says no and you go and do it yourself, they'll find it very difficult to say no to you the next time you ask them to do something. The other thing about being a manager, most people, when they read books, feel that a manager is when you can go out and play golf or, do things like that. I think the manager's job is the most difficult. Because first thing is you've got a team. You have to look at what is the weakness in your team. And the manager's job is actually to take care of that weakness. So I don't have a choice of what I want to do if I'm a manager. I have to overcome or make sure I take care of that weakness in the team. The second thing is, let's say my boss tells us to do something, and we don't do a good job, and he calls someone who reports to me and is yelling at him or firing him up. It's my job as the manager to step in between and say, you can't talk to someone who reports to me like that. I'm the one to take the blame. If you have to yell at someone, yell at me. On the other side, if you've done a good job and he is giving you a pat on the back, you should step out of there and say, it's not me, it's my team that actually did that work, and let them take that credit. I've noticed that if you do that, the team will try very hard not to let you down, because no one wants you to take the rap for what they have failed on. And so that's really all you want from your team when you're a manager. So just keep that in mind. We tend to behave very differently when we do stuff like that. The other thing you will see, and a lot of you, I guess, and some of us, try to spend some of our time doing some social good, making some kind of impact in different ways in different communities. I think impact and social impact with innovation is what we need in India. Just doing the same thing that in the same way, yes, it does make a difference, but it's not going to have the kind of impact or the kind of scalability that you need. Again, we learned HCL, when we came out, as I mentioned, we had no money, we had no business plan, we had a dream. And so when we started making our computers, we had to find a way of making it different so that the IBMs and the ICLs and the ECILs of the world, who are large corporations, would not be able to compete with us. India in those days had the power used to go off all the time, very unpredictably. And those people who are near my age will sort of remember that. Now, to get a computer to recover from a power failure needs a very highly qualified programmer, which India didn't have too many of in those days. So what we did is, when we designed our computer, we took a lead-acid truck battery and wrote the logic so that, and connected it to the computer, of course, wrote the logic so that when the power failed, the battery held all the registers at the point of failure. And when the power came back, the computer started exactly from the point where it had stopped working. We had to go every 2 weeks and update the distilled water in the battery, but it was unique and it was specific to India. And it differentiated us as someone who actually made a product that was relevant for the market and the needs of the market. And I think you've got to look at things like that. HCL did a lot of innovations. I mean, we had a relational database called Concurrent Information Retrieval and Update System 2 years before Oracle came up with their database in the market. India, unfortunately, was a closed country in those days, and so we never had a global view. I wish we had. We would have been a global company by now, but that's history, so I won't get into that. Some of the other models I wanted to mention that we have innovated. I don't know how many of you have heard of PARFI, Pan IITians Reach for India. So the IIT alumni decided that they need to do something. A lot of them are retiring my age, and I'm 16th batch at Kharagpur, so you can imagine how many people are there who've sort of gone past the retirement age. But they're still young, and they're still smart, and they're still intelligent. And have experience, and they wanted to do something that would make a difference. So at Parfi, what we do is we skill people with a guarantee of jobs. And we scale it by making it a private-public partnership with states. So we first started with Jharkhand and made that successful. We now have what we call a Kaushal College in every district in Jharkhand, where basically we are taking girls from subsistence families and training them to be nurses, and then guaranteeing them jobs at the end of that. It was something that when I went around today, around the campus, I thought I'd talk to Sai Prasad, because he was the one who was hosting me here, and see if we can work out something with what you all are doing here. The other thing I wanted to mention was there's another IIT alumni organization here in Bangalore. It's called IITians for India's Transformation. They have attacked the problem of water. Again, a little bit of history. The Chola dynasty had built a series of tanks that were interconnected so that they could retain monsoon water even during the dry months. Now, over a period of time, with dams and central canals coming up, these tanks have gone into disrepair, got silted up, and the farmer has lost that contact. We are now trying to rebuild that contact for the farmers by desilting these tanks. But more importantly than that, we are using technology. We are working with the National Remote Sensing Agency to look at water flows in each of these areas and then design these tanks so that the farmer or whoever industry has water available 12 months in a year rather than just during the monsoons. I also want to mention some other innovation is not just new products, innovation is also on processes. And I work with an organization, another NGO called Antara Foundation. You should look them up. They address the problem of infant mortality, malnutrition, and maternal health. And what we look at is that we have basic infrastructure in India. Every village has an ASHA worker, every village has an Anganwadi worker, and every cluster of villages has an auxiliary nurse midwife. Yet they don't share, or the sharing of information between them is very inefficient. And so we've gone in and set up a process where they can share that information more effectively, where we get the community involved in making sure that pregnant mothers, the 5,000 day where the kid is 2 years old from pregnancy to 2 years old, that is looked at a little more carefully, that the high-risk pregnancies are given the attention they desire, etc., etc. The work has been done in Rajasthan. Rajasthan government has accepted it and are now implementing part of it by themselves. We are working in 8 districts in MP, and we'll probably open Chhattisgarh in the next few months. But again, the innovation is in the process, in making sure that I make what is already on the ground much more effective. 2 other things, and I'll conclude after that. I want to mention that, again, IITians, as you know, have become a brand name, and a lot of them have done fairly well in life. And so now we are trying to leverage that expertise to see how we can get world-class kind of products that are made in India. So a mass spectrograph, for example, costs about $10 million. IIT Madras and AIIMS Delhi are working together with our help to develop a low-cost, $100,000 mass spectrograph that will actually identify not parts per million, but parts per billion. So not only can I do water cleansing, I can also use it for cancer and healthcare. That'll be very effective. And I'm working with IIT Kharagpur, which is my alma mater, to make a low-cost portable MRI machine that we want to take to villages and be able to do much better diagnostics than what we have right now. I've got to apologize before I conclude. I didn't mean to get into all this But you started me off on my story, and I just decided to share some of the work that I've done. I've got to again thank everyone here for being here. Thank you for being a very patient audience. Thank you for all the great work that you do, and thank you for making a difference.
Thank you, Mr. Malhotra, for accepting the award and for such an insightful talk, for sharing such valuable life lessons that will surely remain with all of us, especially our students. This evening, we also confer the CSR Circle of Honor to Healthy Farm Foods, a Hyderabad-based enterprise founded in 2019. It specializes in food products sourced directly from local farmers. With a focus on quality, authenticity, and community well-being, the company has been playing a vital role in supporting social nutrition programs across India.
Through its collaboration with Sri Sathya Sai Annapurna Trust, Healthy Farm Food supplies nutritious and energy-rich chickpeas of different varieties. This wholesome nutrition forms an integral part of the morning nutrition program, helping millions of children across Telangana and other states to receive additional nourishment. And representing Healthy Farms this evening, we have its directors, Mrs. Praveena Balusu and Mr. Raghavalu Balusu, and we invite them both on stage to receive the honor. We now invite Mr. Raghavalu Balusu to share a few words with us.
Sairam and good evening everyone. Respected Sadhgurus Sri Madhusudan Sai Ji and all the dignitaries on this stage, we are deeply honored and humbled to receive this recognition today on behalf of Healthy Farm Foods. We offer our heartfelt gratitude to Sadhguruji for choosing us to be a part of this divine and such a wonderful transformation mission. It is truly a dream come true for us to stand here in this sacred space, in the divine presence of Swamiji, and to walk alongside him to the noble work of feeding more and more children across the nation. Swamiji, we are ever grateful to you for giving us this opportunity to serve, and we assure you of our continued committed and wholehearted support in the years to come. Thanks once again for these blessings and honor.
Today, we are delighted to celebrate Canada, a nation in the North American continent. Freshwater glaciers, the Great Lakes, the majestic Niagara Falls, breathtaking landscapes and maple leaves add to its ethereal beauty, giving it the name, the Land of the Great White. The discovery of insulin in Canada became one of the most crucial medical breakthroughs, saving millions of lives.
And this evening, we present the One World, One Family Humanitarian Award to Mr. Daniel Lapp from Canada for his contributions in the field of music and fine arts. Mr. Lapp is a world-renowned folk musician, educator, and humanitarian whose life's work celebrates the power of music to unite, uplift, and inspire.
Founder of the Victoria Fiddle Society, the House of Music, and the House of Music Society, Mr. Daniel has spent decades enriching communities across Canada through mentorship, music education, and charitable outreach. He developed the award-winning British Columbia Fiddle Orchestra curriculum for school children aged 6 to 18 and has offered countless hours of mentorship across Canada, from the Arctic to Newfoundland and abroad, helping young people discover confidence and creativity through music.
With over 100 albums recorded and touring across continents, Daniel has been a prominent figure in the world of fiddling, including performing at the Winter Olympics in 2010. His remarkable contributions have earned him the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Award, the Canadian Folk Music Association Innovator Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Canadian Grandmasters Fiddling Association for advancing the Canada's fiddle culture and for his community outreach.
To promote and preserve this unique tradition, he started Woodbox Records label in 2025 to support young artists and fiddling pioneers. Today, we honor Mr. Daniel Lapp for his outstanding contribution to music and fine arts, his lifelong dedication to nurturing talent, and his inspiring service to communities across Canada. May we invite on stage Mr. Daniel Lapp to please receive the award and deliver his acceptance speech.
Good evening, everyone. My warm greetings to Sadhguru Sai. This place is truly heavenly, divine. It's a joy to be here, to feel the love from everyone that we've met, especially the students, and to be part of this beautiful One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. I want to sincerely thank Sadhguru Sai for awarding me this great honor as Humanitarian for Canada. I feel deeply humbled, very grateful for this recognition. Over the years, I've learned, especially from my parents and grandparents, that music isn't just about performance. It's about people. It's community. It's the laughter between the notes and the smiles and the friendships that grow through sharing a song and the feeling that we're all part of something bigger when we play music together. From small towns in the Canadian Arctic to classrooms across the country, I've seen how a fiddle tune, a song, or even a single note drawn across a violin bow can light up a young heart with confidence and joy. When I started the Victoria Fiddle Society, the Youth BC Fiddle Orchestra, and the House of Music, and now with my work at the Victoria Conservatory of Music, my dream was simple: to make music education accessible to everyone, children, adults, families, anyone who wanted to learn. Through mentorship, choirs, and orchestras, we've tried to offer not just lessons in music, but lessons in belonging, creativity, and hope. Music isn't a privilege, it's a gift, it's a right. It bridges generations, cultures, and hearts. And it shows us that joy, when shared, is one of the greatest forms of service. This award is a beautiful reminder that every act of creating together is an act of service, that through music we find harmony, we build bridges between hearts, and are reminded that we are and always have been one family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lapp. We will now have two representatives from Canada who will present about the country's culture, people, and values. First, we have Ms. Monique Demore from Ottawa. Trained in natural medicine and massage therapy, she has had a successful practice for several years. After returning to Canada, Ms. Monique deepened her passion for holistic healing, completing studies in Ayurvedic massage and counseling. In 2017, she established a wellness studio dedicated to counseling, therapeutic massage, energy work, and Ayurvedic healing, guided by the spiritual teachings of Sathya Sai Baba. Ms. Monique Demore, please.
Good evening to all, namaskar, and greetings from Canada. It is with heartfelt gratitude that all of us thank Sadhguru for kindly inviting us to participate at this historic One World, One Family World Cultural Festival, and to be amongst global brothers and sisters. So Canada is a great country. It stretches from Atlantic to the Pacific and north to the Arctic Ocean, and is the world's second largest country, defined by vast forests, the Rocky Mountains, tundra, and thousands of lakes that sustains its environment and communities. Home to over 40 million people, Canada's capital is Ottawa. The country experiences long winters where temperatures can go down to even minus 40. And it's so cold that you have to wear a scarf because your breath, it practically freezes inside your nose and your mouth. The country experiences long winters and vibrant summers, with climates ranging from Arctic in the north to temperate in the south. Canada's national currency is the Canadian dollar and is worth about 63 Indian rupees. The country has 2 official languages, which are French and English, reflecting its bilingual heritage and cultural balance. Niagara Falls, shared with the United States, is amongst one of the world's most powerful natural waterfalls and a symbol of Canada's natural beauty and renewable energy potential. So Jasper National Park in Alberta protects glaciers, mountains, wildlife, and is part of UNESCO's Canadian Rocky Mountains Parks World Heritage Site. The CN Tower in Toronto once held the record of the world's tallest freestanding structure and remains a global symbol of Canadian engineering and innovation. Old Quebec City is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its preserved fortifications, architecture that reflects early French colonial history in North America. Parliament Hill represents Canada's democracy and parliamentary traditions, combining Gothic revival design with symbolic natural monuments. Beautiful Lake Louise, with its turquoise glacier-fed waters, is a center for outdoor recreation and conservation within Banff National Park. The Northern Lights, or Aurora Borealis, illuminate the Arctic skies across Manitoba and the Northwest Territories, a natural phenomenon celebrated in Indigenous storytelling and science alike. Signal Hill in St. John's marks the site where the first transatlantic wireless signal was received in 1901, a milestone in global communication history. Canadian philosophy values peace, tolerance, and multicultural harmony. Indigenous teachings emphasize connection to the land, honoring elders, stewardship of nature. Service, kindness, and coexistence continue to shape Canada's moral compass. The Martyrs' Shrine honors the 17th century Jesuit missionaries who lived amongst the Huron-Wendat people. It remains a national site of faith and reflection. Canadian cuisine celebrates the land and its harvests. Staples include wheat, potatoes, maple syrup that most of you know, and berries. Signature dishes such as poutine, bannock, butter tarts, and tourtière reflect regional traditions and shared hospitality. Traditional garments showcase Canada's diverse cultural mosaic. The Inuit Almauti keep infants warm in Arctic conditions. The Métis sash symbolizes community pride, and moccasins and parkas remain timeless examples of the First Nations craftsmanship. Canada's arts blend Indigenous heritage with global influences. Inuit carvings, storytelling, and beadwork sit alongside ballet, classical music, and folk traditions. National festivals such as Canada Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, and Winterlude celebrate unity and creative expression. And I just want to underline that this Winterlude is celebrated on the Rideau Canal in Ottawa, and it's one of the longest skating rinks in the world. It's 7.8 kilometers one way and back. And they host festivals and ice sculptures, and it's very fun in the winter when you're well-dressed. Sir Frederick Banting, a Canadian scientist, co-discovered insulin and transformed the treatment of diabetes worldwide. Terry Fox is celebrated as a national hero for his Marathon of Hope, a cross-country run to raise awareness and funds for cancer research after losing his legs to the disease. His determination and selfless spirit continue to inspire millions of people in Canada and around the world. So I think I skipped. Canada's arts blend Indigenous heritage with global influences. Inuit carvings, storytelling, and beadwork sit alongside many art forms. Canada provides universal healthcare and high education standards, but faces ongoing challenges in timely medical access, equitable funding for Indigenous schools, and affordable housing. Growing attention is being given to mental health, inclusion, and social equity across communities. Canada continues working to strengthen health, education, and social programs for all citizens. Focus areas include Indigenous well-being, food security, and support for newcomers and vulnerable groups. Expanding national health access and community-led initiatives remain central to building equity and resilience. The Canada Healthy Communities Initiative improves public spaces and mobility, while the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives supports international projects on human rights, gender equality, and climate resilience. NGOs like World Vision Canada and the Food Grains Bank lead programs for food security and disaster relief at home and abroad. Canada stands for unity, compassion, and service. Like the four sacred directions, East as the teacher, South as the healer, West as the visionary, and North as the warrior. May the wisdom of our Indigenous forefathers and land keepers echo once more, calling us to walk on the sacred path with purpose and love. Sayran. Swami, as a token of our gratitude, we would like to offer you a shawl and a cup crafted by the Anishinaabe First Nation artist, Kobe Hul, which represents, amongst all the different animals, the eagle as bravery, foresight, and love, the wolf as humility, the turtle as truth, the bison as respect, the beaver as wisdom, and the bear as courage.
We now have a video showcasing the service activities undertaken by the volunteers of the One World, One Family mission in Canada. Isn't it so heartening to see the service and the motto of love all, serve all spread across the world with the leadership of Sadhguru Madhusudan Sai? It's indeed commendable to see each and every country practicing in the One World, One Volunteer, One World, One Family volunteers, taking forward this global mission. Next, we have Ms. Upasana Jayashree Naidu from Canada, who will share with us her story of transformation. Born in Vancouver, Ms. Upasana has been a gifted musician from a young age, graduating with top honors in music for the province of Alberta. She went on to earn a bachelor's degree in music in art history from King's University in Edmonton, where she also assisted the music faculty in developing course outlines. Trained in Western classical choral music, she studied under the mentorship of Professors Ji-Hwan Cho, Kimberly Dennis, and Dr. Melanie Turgeon. Beyond academics, Ms. Upasana has volunteered her voice and time to community churches and local symphony orchestras, using music as a means to serve and uplift others. Alongside her artistic achievements, she also holds professional qualifications in optic science and serves as a licensed optic consultant in Canada. Ms. Upasana Naidu.
Good evening, respected elders, dear friends, and everyone gathered here from across the world. With heartfelt gratitude to Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai for this sacred opportunity to share a small part of a personal journey at the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. To be part of this celebration, one that reminds us that love and service can unite humanity beyond nationality, belief, or background, is a blessing among measure. Growing up in Vancouver, life was shaped by family, kindness, and quiet faith. The roots of this journey stretch back generations through the Naidu family, whose love for service and devotion to goodness has guided every single step. From the grandparents who served selflessly under Baba's mission, to the parents and elder sister who carried that spirit of seva into everyday life, their example became the first lesson that true joy comes from giving and not having. There is something powerful about growing up in a family where service is not a project, but a way of being. Physical transformation is experienced, but inner transformation is felt. Yet, like many young people, growing up in a modern, fast-paced world was not always easy. There were distractions everywhere: technology, trends, ambitions, and the subtle pressure to always fit in. Life was busy, but not always full. There was one quiet question that kept returning: what truly matters? That question found its answer through the teachings of Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai and the global mission of One World, One Family. The first time seeing him in Seattle in 2015 felt like something deep inside has awakened, a recognition beyond words. It was not just about seeing a spiritual teacher. It felt like meeting a truth that had always been waiting to be remembered. It was a moment that marked the beginning of transformation, but not only in thought, but in a way of living. From that day, his message of love in action began to shape everything. In Canada, this took the form of simple, heartfelt service, preparing and serving food and coffee to homeless friends on the street. What began as a small gesture, just a few sandwiches and warm drinks on a cold morning, slowly became something much greater. Each act of serving revealed something profound, that kindness is universal. It needs no religion, no language, and no title, whether it is an offering a meal, a cup of coffee, or just a warm smile. each gesture becomes a reminder that love is not an idea, it's an action. And in those moments of connection, the phrase, one world, one family, stopped being a concept and became a living reality. Through service, humility began to grow. The people being served were no longer the less fortunate. They were teachers, showing what strength, gratitude, and resilience look like. Their lives carried silent wisdom, their smiles a quiet grace. That was when transformation deepened, when giving stopped being charity and became communion. There were lessons too, the kind that do not come through reading, but through living. Like most young people, happiness once came from material things, new clothes, new phones, recognition, but slowly these desires began to fade. Simplicity began to feel lighter. Letting go started to feel like freedom, and that space made room for something else. Gratitude. One of the prominent teachers on this journey has been a beloved grandmother. A woman of remarkable strength and devotion, she spent her life serving others with grace and discipline. Last year, she lost her memory and could no longer recognize her loved ones. But yet, even now, she smiles beautifully and softly hums bhajans, even though she doesn't remember the words. Watching her became a quiet revelation. It showed that peace does not come from what we hold on, but from what we let go of. When the mind grows still, the heart remembers love. Her life, even in silence, continues to teach that joy comes from memory, but not from surrender. Those lessons echo everything Sadhguru teaches, that true transformation began when we stop trying to control life and start living in alignment with it. His message has also shaped how work is viewed. Working in optical science once meant measuring precision and chasing outcomes. I would often get frustrated with not being able to get 100% in my measurements. But then Sadhguru then advised me to not focus on doership. His teachings revealed that work, when done with awareness and detachment, becomes worship. It is not the kind of job that matters. It is the intention behind it. A guiding principle that has been significant is that doing what serves others brings deeper fulfillment than simply doing what we like. Whether it is serving food, guiding a student, helping a colleague, or simply showing kindness in daily life, each moment is a chance to serve. This is what One World, One Family mission truly means, that every person in every role has the power to make the world gentler, one act at a time. There came a time when faith was tested. The decision to leave a stable job wasn't easy, yet it came from a deep knowing that life must serve a higher purpose. That step opened the door to a different kind of fulfillment, one rooted in faith, not fear, and in purpose, not pressure. To the youth here today, the world does not need more competition. It needs more compassion. It needs people who use their skills not only to rise, but to lift. Use your education, your creativity, and your talents to bring comfort where there is pain and hope where there is despair. Transformation rarely happens in grand gestures. It unfolds quietly in small acts done with great love. A warm meal, a kind word, a patient ear, these are all the seeds that heal the world. And if there's one thing this journey has taught, it is that love and service are languages that everyone understands. No matter where we come from, what we believe, or what language we speak, kindness unites us all. So, as this World Cultural Festival celebrates unity and peace, may each of us carry this truth home, that we are all one family. Let us live with compassion, serve with humility, and lead with love. And may our hearts, wherever we are, reflect what the world needs most: peace, kindness, and hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Naidu. We now pray to Sadhguru to bless us all with this benedictory message.
In our culture, the essence of life is considered to be paropakara. And paropakara is made of three small words, para, upa, and kara. Para means the higher one, God. Upa means near, and kara means that which does. So that which takes us closer to our divinity, our God, that is paropakara. And whoever does a little good every day gets closer to God. And that is why I always say in every good there lies God. G-O-O-D is good and G-O-D is God. So life can be as simple as that. The purpose can be as simple as that. And as I was listening to Upasana, but such a wonderful speech that she made. And she spoke with such clarity and conviction of her experience that doing good or helping somebody, loving and serving has opened her heart to greater possibilities than just competing for getting ahead in her life. And Canada is not a very forgiving place. You see, you must keep your place there. You must compete. You must grow. You must prove yourself every day. And in those circumstances also, to stay steady, to stay grounded, to stay centered in doing good is all that is needed so that we get closer to that divinity that I always preach that lies within and without. I'm very glad to hear that speech. It was a very well articulated and expressed speech. So I want to congratulate her. She's a little girl, but she has done a great job of it. So also I had a wonderful learning from the speech that was made by Mr. Malhotra ji just a while ago, because I think the leadership lessons that he pointed out during his speech was something that were very profound and insightful. And I'm sure there was something for every one of us to learn from. And as they say, as W. Longfellow says, lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. We all need to leave footprints on the sands of time because it guides another brother to the shores whose ship has sunk and he's looking for direction, looking for hope, looking for positivity. And that is when the lives of great men come handy in guiding the humanity. And today in Mr. Malhotra, we saw a great leader who has built great enterprises in those times, as he mentioned, when you were never sure of whether the electricity would ever stay, or if it goes, whether it will come back. If it comes back, when it will go again. In those days, they innovated and they came up with an India-specific computer system, which was the differentiating factor. You know, to think different, to see what others cannot see, that's leadership. And I love that story that you told us about that. A computer, the first one which you created through HCL, and how it was useful to the Indian people. And that was very wonderful. And on the other lessons, whom are you cheating? When you lie, when you cheat, when you cut corners, whom are you doing it to? Yes, apparently we are cheating the teacher or the friends or the classmates or the business partners or anybody else whom we are associated with. But at the end of it all, we are actually cheating ourselves because we don't grow into better human beings when we do that. So there are no shortcuts to success. Hard work is the way. And that is something that our children and everybody who is listening to this speech would have learned. Not only in the tech entrepreneurship, but he's also a great philanthropist. He is using his knowledge and skills to solve many societal problems, as he mentioned a few of them. But something interesting that he discussed inside I wanted to tell others is he is working with some of those premier institutions like IIT Kharagpur to, in a way, document Indian knowledge systems in a more scientific way so that it reaches the people in the way it should. And they are using AI to develop an application where all the Upanishads, Vedas, and other scriptures are present, and one can query, one can ask questions, and it would answer, and they're working on that model. So I was very thrilled to know that something like that is being done. What a wonderful way to use technology to promote the cause of good knowledge amidst the youngsters, you know. They are tech savvy. They are not going to sit in satsangs and listen to pravachans like the old ones. They are the ones who need to have everything on their phone, on their fingertips, and instant. It should be available. They ask a question, they will not for a guru to appear to answer these questions. Nor they have the patience to meditate and find it out from within. Nor will they go elsewhere looking for answers. They want it all here right now. And if you get it, it's done. If you don't, it's gone. So in that moment, to keep their attention and to keep them engaged, it is a Herculean task, because we run schools and we know that attention spans of children are coming down. Earlier the classes used to be 1 hour minimum. Now we have reduced it to 45 minutes because children get bored after some time. They become restless. And in 45 minutes also, I know their attention span is only for 20-25 minutes. It is out of my fear that everybody is sitting so quietly here, not in the classroom, I know. Every 20 minutes they want to do something, they want to move around, they become restless. So that is how things have changed. They are very fast, information is available to them, but right information is the key. All kinds of information there is on the internet. The interpretation of our scriptures by anybody and everybody, now everybody is a philosopher. So understanding it correctly and teaching the learning models and preparing them to give the right kind of answers to the people of today in the language that they understand, the way they use information, the way they process it, the way they access it. That is so very important to spread this knowledge. I truly enjoyed that conversation. I look forward to that work of yours, and hopefully I'll become obsolete after that because the AI will take over, I know. But then AI cannot love you, AI cannot feel you, AI cannot empathize with you. So you still need a guru. You can't get rid of gurus too soon. But it will have its role. I'm sure it will have its role to reach out to many more people, and Indian wisdom can reach out to people around the world. And that is needed in these times as that we live in today. The world is so divided, conflicts everywhere. And even though we are in 21st century, we thought we were done with all the wars, World War I and II. But you never know, nuclear tests have begun again and everybody gives the excuse the other one is doing it, so why should not I? We do not know. At this point in time of uncertainty and anxiety, people do lose their mind. They get into depression, they get into anxiety. And Indian wisdom comes handy then. It helps us to calm our minds down, to center ourselves. Like we heard from Upasana, how quickly she learned so many lessons in the last 10 years. And she has transformed herself. Situations did not change, but she changed. And that has helped her to deal with the situation. That is the Ashtavakra Gita that we are all learning. We do not complain. We do not wish that everything changes around us. We only put efforts to change our within. And once that happens, you look at the world from a different lens and you understand it differently now. You are more grounded. And that is important. I think Indian wisdom must reach every nook and corner of the world. That is my hope and aspiration. I met one Swamiji. He did not know any English. And fortunately, I have studied, I got good education, I learned some English, so I'm able to communicate with the world better. He said, Swamiji, if only I was English educated, I would have conquered the world with my speeches, he said. But unfortunately, that was not so. I only know some Sanskrit and some vernacular language. With that, I can only reach out to so many people. I'm going to tell him that don't worry, Mr. Malhotra is working on something and you can also reach out to the world very soon. Don't despair. But that is how technology can be a can be transformative. And I think after COVID, I was mentioning to him also that we all have learned to use technology. And I remember in 90s or 2000s when technology started coming, computers started coming, the older generation were very, very scared because they thought this is going to take away all their jobs. And many of them quit jobs because they thought if they had to learn all afresh, start using computers in their offices, everything was getting digitized. They don't want to work anymore. So a lot of people quit their jobs, took voluntary retirements. And today is not so. COVID was a great disruptor in many ways, and technology-wise, yes, in India, everybody has started using smartphones or computers or tabs or internet. Everybody accesses information, and that is across. In villages also, we are able to do that, and that is why we are investing now heavily in artificial intelligence to reach out to our rural populations for healthcare as well. Education is already reaching in multiple languages. So that is very thrilling. But to know that some people who shaped the digital destiny of our country and to meet them in person and to be able to honor them on this stage, it's truly a privilege that I think I want to thank him for allowing us to do that. And it's an inspiration for the children too. All of you should get inspired to do something better than what you already are doing. And God has given us infinite capacities. We can do anything if we set our mind to. So I'm sure many more such entrepreneurs, such innovators, such problem solvers will come out of this crowd. And they will help the world, not just India, but the whole world is my hope. Canada today also we celebrated, we honored healthy farms. They have been helping us with preparation of millet-based food for children, chickies and small things. Because earlier we did not have SciSure, so we were trying to find solutions. We started with cooked breakfast in the morning, but it was not working out because it was too early in the morning to cook breakfast for everybody. And quality control was an issue because you can't control the quality of breakfast being cooked in several places by several people. So we came up with a ready-made breakfast. You could boil them or you could just heat them and eat it. But that was very expensive. That was not workable. It was not truly scalable. Then we came with the idea of anything that will last. It has a good shelf life, has a lot of nutrition in it. It is more of indigenous kind of food. And that is when we met this company, LD Farms, and they started making these chickies for us, which was nutritious, it was healthy, and it would fill the stomach and give a good start to the children for the day. That is how we are still partnering. Meanwhile, we also reinvented our own ways of doing things, and we started with SciSure, which is also reaching out to millions of children every day. It's a ragi malt, which is fortified with all kinds of micronutrition that the children need for their daily growth. So this is a game changer again. But we learned over a period of time, but they were and are partners with this Sathya Sai Annapurna mission, and we thank them for their continued support and partnership. Also, I learned about the Canadian Humanitarian, and what a wonderful initiative to connect children through music, to bring joy to them and making music education accessible. And some of us who are learning music here at no cost, when our teachers come and teach us in the class, we all know some music, all of us learn that. It is not so in every place. It costs to learn music, and it costs quite a bit, and not everybody can afford it. So to make music education accessible and available to all the children is also a wonderful thought. And I think I have to thank him for that initiative, for making music available and accessible to all the children, irrespective of whether they can afford it or not afford it. Through his foundation, he has been doing that for so many people. So I'm very, very happy. I would like to thank Mr. Lab for that. And I'm sure in times to come, we can also partner. We have an orchestra, as you know, symphony orchestra, one of the largest of the country. And they're all going to perform on 23rd on that global stage. And Dimitris, our teacher, sent me the list of so many countries performing on that day. 45 plus songs they are playing of 45 different countries. Though there will be main musicians, but all these children are supporting with their music too. and 450 people on the stage. And I thought this auditorium was not enough, so I shifted them to the sports ground. And they want that stage also to be increased and extended, because 450 of them cannot fit in there. Now, I think I'll have to build a bigger stage for them. They're just growing in numbers every day. They've also applied for the Guinness Book of Records for the highest number of world musicians together on one stage to perform a live orchestra. I hope they'll get it. So yes, music does connect people. It breaks barriers. It crosses boundaries and connects hearts. He said it's a bridge between hearts. And music is a bridge between the hearts. In the last 80 plus days, we have heard all kinds of music from around the world. And we have enjoyed every one of it. We have heard African rhythms and beats. We saw the Middle Eastern songs and their prayers, to the Latin Americans, the Spanish music, and the high-end Western symphony from Germany and Austria, to the Eastern music from Japan and Vietnam and Cambodia and so many places. We have been learning every day a new way of how people express themselves through music. And music is an integrator. It is a unifying force, no doubt about it. Everybody enjoys music. Like love and service, music also knows no boundaries. It's a universal language. So I think we should appreciate that Dimitri and team have put in such great effort. I haven't been finding any time to go and see their rehearsals, but I hope that one of these days I will go when they are a little more ready. And you must all enjoy and appreciate the hard work that goes into it. See, alone you can play whatever you want. Nobody knows you play right or wrong. But in an orchestra, you have to align yourself with everybody else. You have to let go of your individuality. You have to let go of your ideas and ambitions. You have to merge yourself in the collective. And that is why orchestra is a great spiritual exercise. You have to become one amongst all the people. There is no first, no second, no higher, no lower, no greater, no lesser. Everybody has to play their part. And everybody is equally important. That idea is this whole world is a symphony in a way, where every one of us has a role to play, which has been given divinely to us. You could be a techie, you could be a musician, you could be a food manufacturer, you could be a farmer, you could be a student, you could be a politician, a teacher, a guru, whoever you are. We are all part of this great global symphony of humanity. And as long as we play our tunes properly, we practice and we do the best that has been given to us, this symphony will go on. It will be beautiful, it will be harmonious, it will be enjoyable. But the cacophony that exists in the world today is because some of them have gone out of tune. They've forgotten their tunes, they're doing their own thing, and they don't want to become a part of the whole. They want to do their individual things, and that is where all the conflicts have begun. But I'm hoping that this message of one world, one family, through so many people who come here and who are watching this from around the world, would make the world a little better than what it was yesterday, and will make people feel for each other and come a little closer to each other, to understand each other, to sympathize, to be able to feel each other and embrace each other. That way the world will become a little more nicer place is my hope and prayer. If you go to the exhibition, the World Cultural Exhibition, have you seen, all of you? So if you go there, you will see right in the beginning there is a globe. But that's not the globe of today. Did you see the globe in the beginning? Where the moment you enter, they put a globe. But that globe has all the continents stuck together, not like the present times when everything is different. And that's a wonderful idea, because in old times, they say billions of years back, that all the world was just one piece of land. Pangea it was called. And then slowly, tectonic shifts and the continents drifted away, and that it became what it is now. But they nicely put that old globe with all the continents and countries just next to each other. And that is a beautiful idea. And that is what I'm trying to do. Not physically, I'm not making any tectonic shifts in the world, but I'm trying to bring people together in their hearts. So even though continents are far away from each other, hearts can always be together. And that is the kind of globe that we want to create, the world that we want to create through this festival. We have We are almost there, 80% done, 20% more to go. And I'm sure the next few days also will be very enjoyable, with many countries coming here, presenting their culture, the seva that they do. And it's a wonderful thought. See, you never know what is the power of a warm cup of coffee in the morning unless you are on the receiving end. That morning when you're shivering in the cold, you have no home, all night you have stayed awake, shivering in the cold of Canada. And in the morning, without you expecting, somebody walks up to you, gives you a little sandwich and a cup of hot coffee. You feel God in that moment. You feel blessed in that moment. You feel you are not forgotten, you're not forsaken. There is somebody. And this happens across the world, be it a cup of coffee and a sandwich, or medicines, or healthcare, or values education that has become a big thing now. And on the 23rd, we're going to launch the program called Value Educate the World. And in that, there are many chapters like Value Educate India, Value Educate Canada, Value Educate Australia. And like that, so many teachers have come together to undertake this great program. And all the books have been created, all the study material, the workbooks have been created, even the guidebooks for teachers have been created, and they are being translated in multiple languages. And because Mr. Malhotra is sitting, I want to tell you that it so happened that one day I told, we have created the book as per the Indian stories, so our stories are consisting of Mahatma Gandhi and Vivekananda and their morality. But how will a Fijian understand these stories? What can we do? So then our team said, then we'll have to redo it in Fiji language, Fiji, and also the stories should be relevant to the people of Fiji, the customization of the study material. I said, then we'll have to engage so many artists to do the illustrations, and that's going to take forever. When will we cover the whole world? Indian ones were done with an artist's help, all the illustrations. But for the whole world, no, Africans need different artistry, and then Americans need another one, and Australians another one. This is going to go on forever. Within 10 minutes, they sent me the Fiji illustrations because AI did it in no time. The same story of the family traveling in a bus, but this time it's a Fijian bus without the windows like it is in Fiji. And the family is with those curly hair and those round noses, and they're all sitting together in those printed shirts, we call bula shirts, and they are traveling together as a family. That was the story. And I was so happy that within 10 minutes they turned it out. Within 10 minutes you bring a lifelike illustration. I said, who did this? He said, this is done by Mr. AI. He does it very fast. And that's when I learned. This was 2.5 years ago. And that's when I learned about ChatGPT. Otherwise, I was quite complacent about technology. Then I learned about ChatGPT, and I learned about generative AI and the language models, learning models that are being created. I was thrilled. And so much of this is happening with the help of AI, of course. But at the end of it, AI will not be sufficient. You have to put the S before AI, SAI. That is when it works, not AI. So the differentiating factor in the HCL computers, being able to recover from an electrical disconnect. Our way of dealing with the world is, yes, AI, but with that element of SAI, Sai, which adds empathy, which adds emotions, which adds love, which adds compassion, which adds human values. And that's how it uses the technology for the good of all. Once again, I want to thank Mr. Malhotra for being here and accepting this award, and to all our partners in this great mission who have come from so many parts of the world. Today I see the crowd has increased, and people are from all parts of the world because it's November. So I think everybody has been arriving here. I have a small request to the students. See, they have come from very long distances, isn't it? So they should be given an opportunity to sit right in the front. You should all step back to the second block, boys and girls, and let the devotees and people who have come from around the world step in and sit in the first block. That is the right thing to do, isn't it? So tomorrow you please change the seating arrangements. Whoever is in charge, please bring all the people who have come from so many parts of the world to sit in the first blocks, and students can sit a little behind. And already the small children have sacrificed. They have already moved out into the corridors. And if the crowd increases, they're going to sit outside that. No papam. What is papam? That is their contribution. And they're very happy because they can sleep off and nobody sees it, you see. Here I can see anybody and everybody. If you're yawning, scratching, pinching the next fellow, I can see everything from here. And if you think that I do not see, I can see very far. My eyesight is very good, so please be careful. But anyways, I will tell the devotees to come in front because they have come from so many places. And they are out of love, nothing else but because they feel love and they want to share that love. They have come here to celebrate this festival. So please let them sit in the front and others can sit behind. Also ashram people who are regulars here, they also can take the opportunity to sit behind this time to let the guests sit in front. Atiti Devo Bhava is India's ethos. All people, our guests are equal to gods. And so we worship them this way by giving them the right opportunity. I hope it is comfortable and convenient for all of you. It's a small ashram and it's not meant for so many people to live suddenly here. But I'm sure you'll be able to adjust. Like in a family function, we all adjust, right? We all share our rooms, bathrooms and everything else. When it becomes a family, we all adjust. And when we are saying we are one world, one family, then we need to learn to adjust. Charity begins at home, as they say. So start by adjusting with people here. One more thing I want to mention is that I went today to Mayiladuthurai. This is one of the oldest Adinams in Tamil Nadu. And that Swamiji had come here all the way at some point in time when he heard from his disciples about the service that is being undertaken over here. So he came, he walked around the entire place, saw the hospitals, and then he went back in tears. When he met me, he was so emotional. He said, "What a wonderful work. We are all running temples in Tamil Nadu from hundreds of years, but we are not doing this. I would like this to be done even there. So please come over and discuss with us." Today was one of the visits where he is celebrating his 60th birthday, which is an important milestone in their culture. So we went there, and I'm hoping that with them, we can open a small hospital which will help the poorer sections of the society in and around that area, which otherwise they'll have to travel quite a distance to Tanjore to get access to health care. And these villages are kind of left out. So he asked, and I said, yes, of course, we would help in whatever way. Since it was his 60th birthday, so I mentioned, let us open a 60-bedded hospital, because that's a middle-range hospital which we are opening around the country now. The smallest is Sai Swasthya, which are one-room clinics connected with telemedicine and AI. The second is Sai Arogya, which are these general hospitals at district level. And then we have got our bigger super specialty hospital in Sanjeevani and here at the Medical Institute. So that is how we want to cover the entire span of the country through technology and through presence in multiple places in multiple ways. So I thought we can offer them this, that we can build a small general hospital over there, which will probably have pediatrics, gynecology, obstetrics, general medicine, general surgery, some geriatrics too, because a lot of elderly are there. And further investigations, and if they need further help, they can always come here after that. So I hope people from Tamil Nadu will pay attention that this is the first hospital, if at all, because we never built a hospital in Tamil Nadu so far. If we build, this will be the first one. And I promised him that I'll start soon and offer that within a year before he becomes 61 years old. I will come back and make sure that the hospital is functioning. So we will do that, and they said that they have land because these temples had huge endowments from the times of the kings. So they said that we will offer the land and you please do something. So we will work together with them. Idea is to do good. The paropakarartham idam shariram. This body has been given only to do good. It's not been given to eat, sleep and enjoy life. It is mainly given, the main purpose of it is to do good. In that process, you also eat, you also enjoy, you also live a good life, no problem. But the main purpose is to be able to do good to others, selfless good. And that is the reason why we have come together to do more selfless good. I'm sure through the path of good, we all will realize God. And with these best wishes and blessings to everyone, and special blessings to the people who have come from Canada. I've been to Canada several times. I've been to Niagara Falls. I've been to Toronto. I've seen the Great Lake. I've been to Ottawa, which is where mostly I stay, at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Singhal, who have helped us in multiple ways in building these institutions. They are the ones who helped us to extend these corridors also. I told we need more place for people, so they helped us extend the corridor. They could not come. She is going to come, I think on 18th. He is not keeping too well. So he may not be able to come this time. But we are thankful to them also. And of course, when I think of Canada, I think of maple syrup, and that is speciality there. So put it in your waffle and eat it. It's very tasty. I hope they get to taste a little bit of maple syrup from Canada that grows on maple trees. And it's a beautiful country, But as I said, it also has its own challenges. But I'm sure with the help of our team, we will solve those challenges in times to come. So once again, a lot of blessings to all the Canadian devotees who have come here. And I'm looking forward to the evening program. Okay, I'll come back after the break.
This evening, we are delighted to present a musical performance by the troupe Canadian Kitchen Party. After the early settlers first brought their violins and musical traditions from distant lands to Canada's shores, celebrations of the diverse ethnic roots has become a cornerstone of Canadian culture. Tonight, we will listen to rich musical influences of Scotland, Ireland, Ukraine, France, and the Métis, all beautifully woven into Canada's unique musical voice. For Canada is not defined by one single culture, but by a vibrant tapestry of many cultures. We will also enjoy some of Canada's most iconic songs written and made famous by internationally renowned artists. So sit back and enjoy as the Canadian Kitchen Party brings to life the joyful spirit of music, unity, and togetherness.
Good evening. We want to invite you into our kitchen for a Canadian kitchen party. This is tradition in Canada. We get together in our kitchens, we eat, we play games, we play music, we fiddle, we sing, we dance, and we have everyone is invited, always, all ages, all backgrounds. And in Canada, we are such a wide diversity of cultures. Everyone gets their turn at the kitchen party, so we want to showcase some of the people that have come, the settlers that have come to Canada with their fiddles and brought their music. So we hope that you enjoy. Off to Newfoundland and the Irish jig. Now to Cape Breton Island, home of many Scottish immigrants. This is a beautiful slow air called My Lily. Thank you very much. We are going to play a medley now of compositions coming from Quebec, our French province, and moving westward into the prairie provinces, where we have a very rich fiddle tradition by various groups of people called the Métis people, for example. Also, the Ukrainian community is very strong in Saskatchewan and Alberta. So we'd like to play for you some of these tunes now. So another medley. Here we go. Any French speakers here tonight? Anyone speak French? That's good, because our accents are not very good. So you won't recognize our poor pronunciation, but we're going to do our best. Here we go. Oh! Victoria's going to do something that's very common in Quebec, called les pieds, and lots of the fiddlers, they do this while they're playing the fiddles. Just give us a little example there. So on her right foot, we have heel, toe, heel, toe. This is the back part of your foot, the heel, and then the toe up here. You could try where you're sitting if you like, just heel, toe, 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 heel, toe. And they do this for hours and hours while they're playing and singing. So feel free to join in the les pieds while we sing the song.
Mademoiselle, voulez-vous danser? La basse ligne va commencer. Mademoiselle, voulez-vous danser? La basse ligne, la basse ligne. Mademoiselle, voulez-vous danser? La basse ligne va commencer. Mademoiselle, voulez-vous danser? La basse ligne, la basse ligne. Mademoiselle, voulez-vous danser? La basse ligne va commencer.
very much. We're going to invite our step dancer and tap dancer from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Victoria Miller, to the stage, and the other gentlemen are going to join her in a jazz composition. We have one of the most famous jazz musicians of all time who is from Canada, and we celebrate him whenever we can. He's a hero and a legend. His name is Oscar Peterson, and he wrote this tune, and they're going to play it for you, and Victoria's going to dance. Victoria Williams and Ellen Hodgins on the piano, Mr. Scott White on the bass. case I need these. So any kitchen party is never complete without dancing. Thank you, Victoria, for coming all the way to India to do that for us. And also, no kitchen party is complete without some singing, too. So we're going to sing a few songs. These are Canadian iconic songs. Every Canadian knows these songs, and matter of fact, many people around the world know these songs. You might know them yourself, and if you do, we would love it if you sang along, even hummed along if you don't know the words. This first one is by a prairie fellow. He's born in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and his name's Neil Young. He's one of our most famous Canadians, and this is a tune called Harvest Moon. Oh, sorry. One more second. That's right. Okay. You recognize that riff? Maybe? Famous riff in Canada. Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we can dream this night away. But there's a full moon rising, let's go dancing in the night. We know where the music's playing, let's go out and feel the night. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. When we were strangers, I watched you from afar. And when we were lovers, I loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is getting high. See it celebrate, see it shining in your eyes. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Thank you. Another one of our great Canadian songwriters, also from the prairies, from Saskatchewan, Saskatoon. And here again, some of you will recognize her name. Her name is Joni Mitchell. And she has written many, many great songs, and they often come up at house parties. And we have the lovely Jeanne Tolmy, who's going to sing for you.
Thank you.
It's a Joni Mitchell tune called Big Yellow Taxi.
Well, the paved paradise put up a parking lot with the Pink Hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Paved paradise put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. Took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. And we charged the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away that DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, give me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 bop. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? You paved paradise and you put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 bop. Paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 bop. Paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
Thank you. One more by one of our famous songwriters, a poet, really. One of our great poets in Canada is from Montreal, Quebec, Mr. Leonard Cohen, and we're going to sing probably the most famous song from Canada. It's one called Hallelujah. And again, if you know this one, you are very welcome to sing along with us.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, a baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her gazing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, broke your throat, and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew a hallelujah,
Hallelujah. Sing along if you want.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah. Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below, but now you never show that to me, do ya? Well, remember when I moved in you and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath you drew was hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch.
told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of song. Nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Are you singing along?
Hallelujah,
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 Thank you. Thank you for singing. We're going to do one last tune for you, and it's a rap song, okay? And this is something I wrote many years ago. My grandfather was a farmer, a humble farmer in Alberta, but he also played the fiddle. And I had an experience once where I was playing a concert in Vancouver, and after the concert, a woman came up to me and she said, I know your grandfather. I used to live on the prairies, and we danced to your grandfather's fiddle every Saturday night. And that was a big surprise to me, because Vancouver is a long ways from my grandfather's farm in Alberta. But then she took my hand and she said to me something that changed my life. She said, I don't know what we would have done without him. And in that moment, I realized that my grandfather knew he had a secret that I hadn't learned yet. And that was the secret of service to his community. And I learned it that night. So I wrote this song, which is a poem, really. It's about the fiddle coming across from other countries. In the poem, it's a little homage to Ireland. But then it made its way across the country in different formats, and it really was a guiding light. It was a savior in some ways. Those Saturday night dances when people could get out of their house and mix with their neighbors and talk about life and dance with each other and just have a real important community bonding time. And it was the fiddle that brought them together. So this is a song called The Fiddle Beat. And we're going to have some fun with this. We hope that you'll groove along and clap along. And then after that, we're going to go into one of the most famous Canadian reels. It's called St. Anne's Reel. And that will be the end of our show. And just want to thank you, everyone, for being such a wonderful audience, for being the most incredible hosts here in India. You are all wonderful. We can't get over, especially when we look at the children and they're looking right at us and they're smiling. It just lights us right up. So thank you for this opportunity and this experience to be here at the One World, One Family Festival. The ship, she worked night and day, keeping the spirits high on the sea as they sailed towards their destiny on the shores of a land they'd never seen, never to go back to the Isle of Green, which was their home, which was the place where they were born. They brought along their stories, told and passed to them by folks of old. They brought their whiskey and their songs and poems, but nothing brings them so close to home as when the lady starts to sing. She pulls a thing across the string. She'll light a fire down into the coldest coals, and in the darkest hour she'll wake their souls. The fiddle beat.
Circle to the left.
Make its way to the street.
Circle to the right.
The fiddle beat.
Grab your partner.
Making its way to the street.
And dance all night.
To a beat that can't be beat. This land on the back of a mule, pulling a caravan in the cold dark months of winter when there ain't no light. She gives them hope, she gives them sight to go hip-hopping and jigging through the night. She cradles them and she holds them tight and leads them on a journey far where the truth's revealed and their pain is healed at the sight of the holy star. And like JC, she faces the devil's sins, she always fights. And
and she always wins. The fiddle beat.
Circle to the left,
Make its way to the street.
circle to the right.
The fiddle beat.
Grab your partner
Make its way to the street.
and dance all night.
To a beat that can't be beat. Oh, she's traveled now, beyond the fields, beyond the boundaries of government wheels, and into the cities nonetheless, where they're high on stress. It's time they were hit with the ladies' powers, from the rats in the suburbs to the Wall Street towers. Her message is so plain and true, I'm sure it will get through to you. So open your heart, open your mind, open your soul, and feel the joy it brings when the lady sings. Hey! The fiddle beat.
Circle to the left,
Make its way to the street.
circle to the right.
The fiddle beat.
Grab your
Let's
partner
make its way to the street.
and dance all night.
To a beat that can't be beat. Ho! Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Can you all say Yahoo? Woo!
A big round of applause to the musicians. Miss Victoria Miller, who performed the step dance and tap dance. Mr. Emmett Hodgins. Mr. Daniel Lapp. Mr. Scott White. And Miss Jean Tolming. Request everyone to rise as we conclude with the national anthem of Canada, followed by the Indian national anthem.